Welcome, curious explorers. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to watch a creature slip away like a magician's trick, only to reappear days later without a trace? Today we're diving into the secret world of the 7 most mysterious animals that can vanish for days and then pop back into view as if nothing happened. We'll uncover the clever camouflage, astonishing escape tactics, and even bizarre natural phenomena that let these critters play hide and seek with the planet itself. By the end of this adventure you'll have the tools to become a true nature detective, spotting the clues that hide in plain sight. Let's count down from 7 to 1, and discover the science behind each spectacular disappearance. At number 7 we meet the master of disguise, the leaf-mimicking stick insect. Native to the rainforests of Southeast Asia, these insects spend their lives looking exactly like dead leaves. Their bodies are flattened, their legs are held tight against their sides, and their coloration ranges from dusty brown to mottled green, complete with tiny veins that mimic leaf patterns. When a predator passes by, the stick insect simply remains motionless, blending perfectly with the forest floor. The scientific term for this trick is crypsis, the ability to match the background so precisely that the animal becomes virtually invisible. Detective tip: look for the faint, irregular edge of an eye spot on the insect's abdomen. Many stick insects have a small, contrasting patch that reveals their true identity when you're close enough. Number 6 brings us to the pale moon jellyfish, a gelatinous wanderer of the open ocean. Unlike most jellyfish, the pale moon can undergo a process called vertical migration. At night it rises to the surface to feed, then during daylight hours it descends to depths of several hundred meters, disappearing into the dark where sunlight cannot reach. This daily plunge can last for days if the jellyfish encounters a sudden change in temperature or a predator's presence, effectively vanishing from surface surveys. The science behind this behavior is simple: by staying in deeper, colder water, the jellyfish reduces its metabolic rate and avoids detection. Detective tip: if you ever spot a sudden drop in plankton density during a daytime dive, you might just be witnessing a hidden bloom of these elusive jellies slipping away. Coming in at number 5 is the Australian ghost bat. These nocturnal mammals roost in deep caves where they remain completely out of sight for weeks at a time. Their secret? An extraordinary ability to enter a state of torpor, a short-term hibernation that lowers their body temperature and heart rate dramatically. While in torpor, a ghost bat's breathing can slow to just a few breaths per minute, allowing it to conserve energy during periods of scarce insect prey. When the night returns and insects buzz back into the air, the bat reawakens, flutters out of the darkness, and is as vibrant as ever. Detective tip: listen for an almost silent, rhythmic flutter near cave entrances at dusk. Those faint sounds often signal a bat emerging from its hidden slumber. Number 4 introduces the mimic octopus, a true illusionist of the sea. Found along the Pacific coast of South America, this cephalopod can not only change its skin color and texture in an instant, but it can also contort its body to imitate other marine animals such as lionfish, flatfish, and even sea snakes. When threatened, the mimic octopus ejects a cloud of ink and simultaneously reshapes itself into a completely different silhouette, confusing predators and buying precious seconds to escape. The underlying mechanism is chromatophore expansion. Tiny pigment cells expand or contract under nervous control, producing rapid color shifts. Detective tip: watch for a sudden flash of white or black that quickly fades. This is the ink cloud that signals the octopus's dramatic exit. At number 3 we find the Arctic woolly bear caterpillar, a tiny yet tenacious survivor of the frozen north. During the harsh Arctic winter, this caterpillar freezes solid, its body fluids turning into a glass-like state. Remarkably, it can remain frozen for months, essentially disappearing under a layer of ice and snow. When spring arrives and temperatures rise, the caterpillar thaws, resumes movement, and continues its metamorphosis into a moth. This phenomenon, known as cryobiosis, allows the caterpillar to endure extreme cold without suffering cellular damage. Detective tip: search for tiny, translucent specks on snowbanks in early spring. Those are often thawing woolly bear caterpillars preparing for their next life stage. Number 2 shines a spotlight on the South American glass frog. These tiny amphibians are famous for their translucent skin, which reveals their internal organs to the naked eye. But their most baffling trick is their ability to disappear during the rainy season. When heavy rains flood their forest canopy, glass frogs climb higher into the foliage and hide among the dense moss and lichen, their pale bodies blending perfectly with the wet, green backdrop. In addition, they can lower their metabolic rate, remaining motionless for several days while the forest floor becomes a watery maze that predators cannot navigate. Detective tip: keep an eye on the undersides of large leaves. If you spot a faint, watery outline, you may have discovered a hidden glass frog waiting for the rain to pass. Finally, at number 1, we arrive at the enigmatic Saharan silver ant. These desert dwellers are built for speed and stealth. When the scorching midday sun beats down on the Sahara, the surface temperature can exceed 70 degrees Celsius, forcing most insects to retreat underground. The silver ant, however, possesses reflective hairs on its body that bounce sunlight away, keeping it cool enough to sprint across the hot sand. But the real mystery lies in its temporal disappearance. The ant's activity window lasts only a few minutes each day, precisely when the sand's surface temperature is at its peak. During the rest of the day, the ant hides in deep burrows, effectively vanishing from any surface observation. Scientists term this behavior temporal niche partitioning, a clever adaptation that lets the ant avoid both heat and predators. Detective tip: observe the sand just before noon. If you see a flash of silver moving like a tiny comet, you've caught the ant in its brief, daring foray. Now that we've explored these 7 astonishing disappearances, let's recap the key strategies that allow these animals to vanish for days and reappear unscathed. First, camouflage and crypsis let the leaf-mimicking stick insect and glass frog blend seamlessly into their surroundings. Second, behavioral timing, as seen with the silver ant and ghost bat, means the animal is active only when conditions are optimal, staying hidden the rest of the time. Third, physiological adaptations such as torpor, cryobiosis, and vertical migration enable the woolly bear caterpillar, ghost bat, and pale moon jellyfish to suspend activity until the environment becomes favorable again. Finally, dynamic shapeshifting and ink ejection give the mimic octopus a rapid escape toolkit that confounds predators in an instant. Armed with these detective tips, you can now scan forests, oceans, caves, and deserts with a sharper eye. Look for subtle color changes, sudden pauses in movement, or fleeting flashes of light. Remember that many animals choose to hide not because they are shy, but because disappearing is often the safest path to survival. By paying attention to these clues, you become part of the story, an observer who can witness nature's most secretive performances. If today's journey sparked your inner nature detective, there's more mystery waiting just around the corner. Subscribe for daily cute animals and amazing facts, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new puzzle from the wild. Keep your senses sharp, your curiosity alive, and who knows, maybe the next vanished creature you spot will be right in your own backyard. Until then, stay curious, stay observant, and keep exploring the hidden wonders of our planet.